Then we will move into new business. And A is the annual review of Indian policies and procedures required by Impact Aid.
So we do have the LIEC minutes where you can see that just last Thursday, January 13th, that committee did review and approve the policies that we have in place. And I did attach them for you. So we just need, again, these approved by you. There were no changes made.
I had a question on the bylaws and policies. Why were some circled?
As we just, here's the interesting, this, Priscilla included this in her report, so I was just circling things and making some mental notes about things that we want to talk about in the future. For instance, number 4, we say the whole chunk committee tribal education director, and I was thinking, who is that person? I mean, you know, so we were, so I was kind of jotting some things on there that I knew I wanted to ask questions about. When I came back to school to hit up the Neola policies, these are not yet in there. I'm not sure how we haven't gotten them embedded so that they're online. So I wasn't able to get a fresh copy. So that's the only reason. But I'll get these sent in to Neola then too, so we can have them online with our other policies.
Well, didn't we have to modify our policies in order to have all this documentation submitted?
Say that again, John.
We had to have our policies modified in order to incorporate the rules of this particular program.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So, and I don't think this is, I think the modification included the definitions, which was not how this is written. Because I think we, previously we had identified that it was not a Ho-Chunk Nation Committee Tribal Education Director. We were talking about either the nation's executive director along with its designated education committees. So this particular portion of the documentation may not be the one that was approved last year when we had to make some of the changes.
Yeah, this says September 18th, 2008, so we may want to... These were the policies, though, that were brought forward from the committee that they reviewed?
Mrs.
On Thursday?
Yes, Priscilla brought these forward, and they were included in her report. So,
okay.
Can you do I mean, what we could do is, I assume that we have to make a motion to approve this, correct? But can we make a motion to approve with the stipulation that it is reflective of what was passed from last year? Because it seemed like we had to go through some modifications last year. Do you remember that, Mr. Gorder?
Yeah, I remember that, and that was because of, I remember actually Bob talking about it when we were looking at our federal aid impact.
Right.
Correct.
They brought this to our attention that we had to update all of our policies, but I'm thinking it wasn't last year, it might have been the year before.
I'm thinking it was 2008, but
I looked at that date and I thought to myself, ooh, could it have been 2008? It may have been. It actually may have been. I thought it was 2009 when I first thought about it, but it doesn't seem
like it was that recent. I mean, it's recent, but...
I mean, it could have been January, it could have been February. I just don't remember the...
I think maybe we want to make a motion stipulating unless a search of district policies reveals more recently updated. But those would have been sent into Neola, and they should be on the Neola. I mean, if they would have been sent into Neola, we automatically have sent every policy into them, correct, Greg?
Yep.
So if Neola is not reflecting them, then these have to be the most recent.
Well, we can go back and look through our notes, because I know there's notes and find it there and go from there. But
2008 seems a long time ago, but it could have been.
And the easiest way to do that is to look at our old
book
policy book,
what the
because
policy.
that's what we were using up to that point.
Because it had been many years
Yeah.
since those were updated.
And I'm not even sure we had all the policies that we needed at the time. I thought we added some new policies.
Right.
But these have the Neola look in terms
Wow.
of...
It's very simple. We just go back to the board minutes, we'll find it. That'll be the simplest way to do that. Because I know we did it, it's just a matter of, was it '09 or was it '08?
Time flies when you're having fun.
I guess it does.
Too many policies.
Yeah, that's the key, too many policies, yeah. Okay, so I would look for a motion then to approve under the Toma Area School District bylaws and policies, the Indian policies and procedures, Native American Parent Committee, and relations with Native American community, with the caveat that if there is a more recent version, that will be the approved version that we are looking at with all the stipulations that were undertaken the last time.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second then to approve those policies as stated with that review for the most current policies. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
And just so you're aware, that when the LIC did approve these, they had a caveat as well that they would like us during the course of the next year to tweak some of the language. So we'll compare and see if maybe some of the language already has been tweaked and see.
Good.
Considering the information that was provided on the documentation, Mrs. Zardi, how much participation is coming from the local LIEC into your strategic planning committees, like the public relations? Have you gotten any individuals, have you drawn any individuals to participate in your strategic plans?
I think we have not drawn any into the strategic plan, but I think it's fair to say that we have probably more interest and participation at the LIEC meetings this year than I've observed in the past, that individuals there are really interested in changing things, looking at how we can be more productive for the students, and are very interested in what's happening in the school. So they've had a lot of good questions, and we've been, I know Mrs. Cleveland is looking at creating some new surveys, and we're setting new goals, and so there's some new direction that I believe that committee is really fostering.
The quarterly meetings have been really vibrant. I mean, it's just been a real nice thing. So they're really taking an interest in what's going on, and it's been very good, very helpful.
Well, and the only reason I'm asking is because I too had heard that there's a lot more participation at the local Indian Education Committee level. So I'm wondering if in fact it might just show some initiative to share the strategic plans and talk about them to the committee, so that in fact they can see that they're also invited to be a part of it. Because we haven't done strategic planning like
In the past,
like this in the past. So I think now is a good opportunity to open up the door to them if they're interested as well.
That's a really
if you
good
don't
idea.
mind.
Because it impacts all of our students, irregardless.
Correct.
They have another meeting coming up in February, so
Right.
we'll see if we can't get that on the agenda.
Okay. Sounds good.